Hello and welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I am Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your PAXTON Road TV preview show for the game. Chelsea versus Spurs at Stamford Bridge kicks off Sunday, 4:30, and in the house, joined by, I'm going to get them up. Here they are, the two maestros. We have Sid Spurs and we have Sean Hurl. Welcome, gentlemen. How we doing? Stream is on, and the game is 26, 28 hours away, whatever it is, something like that. Are we all looking forward to Chelsea? Sid, mute. I can't hear anything.
It's that time of the season now.
It's
that time of the season now where when it comes to Friday, you're like, I can't wait for the weekend to begin. And Spurs smashing everyone. Now, it's going to be this game. I think it's come at the right time for us, and can't wait. Absolutely cannot wait.
Yeah, it is a game that I think it could define, not necessarily define our season, but certainly show us where we are in terms of my expectations for this season. I know that there's a few people a little bit less over the top in terms of expectations, but no, I think Conte's kind of alluded to it in his press conference, played it down a bit, but he's definitely serious about this. Sean, what's your thoughts about tomorrow's game?
Looking forward to it. I never normally look forward to a visit to Stamford Bridge with us, 2018 apart. But I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to it since final whistle last Saturday.
Yeah, and it really is a big game, the biggest game of the weekend. So let's get into the show. Oh, by the way, just from last week, because you did mention it to me, you got the score correct. It was 4-1, and you also got a goal score in there as well in terms of Kulusevski. So 3 points for the correct score, 1 point for the additional goal score as well. So you are on 4 points. I'll do the scores next week's show. Deji obviously got the result as well. 3-0 he said, and said Kane 2 goals and Son. And I said 3-0 and said Kane, Son and Kulu. So I get 2 points. 1 point for the win and 1 point for the Kulu. So Sean's out in front. You weren't on. No. You weren't on the show. Unfortunately.
But didn't you get my prediction? Didn't you write it down?
What did you put? Here we go. He's going to try and cheat one. He's going to... No, I'm not falling for that bullshit.
The stream level lies. The show that we done, you asked me that I'm going to ask you anyway, if you remember. And I said 3-1 to Spurs. And I said Perisic would score. I said... I can't remember the other two, but I did say Perisic. Have you not wrote it down?
Sid cheating as...
Did you not? Do you know what?
That's what I'm writing down. That is the only thing I'm writing down. Sid...
Oh,
what did you say? 3-1? Did you say 3-1?
I said 3-1 to Spurs, but it's okay. I'll find that stream and I'll show it to you. Don't worry.
As you can see, it's not really kept that well in terms of the organisation for that. But anyway, like I said,
God, early season rivalry, eh? Inter-brother rivalry, my God.
Really is.
Listen,
what you
Man
saying
comes
now?
on my show and then he asks me, what do you think the score's going to be? I'm going to ask you as soon as you didn't do the show. I tell him, he writes it down, but he pretends to write it down. Yeah, he's like Donald Trump, isn't he?
I'm pleading the fifth. I am definitely pleading the fifth on this one. Right then, enough fun and games on PAXTON Road TV. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, and we'll get into this. Gentlemen, let's do this. Okay. Chelsea. Let's get us all off the screen. I like that. No, let's do this. Right then. Okay, let me start again. Yeah. We may as well start from the league table. You know the reason I've done that. You know the reason I've done that, don't you? Come on. One game in. Do you know what I mean? You've got to put the league table up. So, as you can see, top of the league. Goal difference of 3 points. Bottom of the league, Southampton, because they got battered by us. And everywhere in between. It's not important. We all know that. The league table doesn't really matter at this stage. I remember back in the days, they never used to put it up before like 5, 6, 7, 8 games. But obviously it's a thing now, isn't it? So let's not really talk about that. Let's talk about the next thing on here. The fixtures. So kicks off in 15 minutes, actually. Aston Villa versus Everton. Then we have Arsenal versus Leicester. Brighton versus Newcastle. Manchester City, Bournemouth. Southampton versus Leeds. Wolves versus Fulham. And Brentford versus United is the evening game tonight, 5:30 kickoff. Then into Sunday, Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. That'll be a good game. Chelsea versus Spurs will be a better game. And Monday, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Who knows what that game will be like. But concentrating on our game, and the games for the weekend. Arsenal playing Leicester. Let's just touch on a couple of them points because they're our rivals, I guess. What do you think was going to happen in that game?
Unfortunately, I can't see any other thing but an Arsenal win because Leicester are on fall down, mate. They're down. They've lost Michael. Confidence is not very high at the moment with them lot. Arsenal at home, first game of the season. They had a good result last week as well. I think Arsenal will probably smash them, to be fair. I think it'll be like 3-4-0.
I hope it's not. But go on, Shirley. You say your bit.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that Arsenal will win that more than comfortably. I don't know whether it'll be 3 or 4-0, but they'll certainly win by a couple of goals. Yeah, that's they will be crowing tonight. Don't you forget? AFTV. Yeah, we're gonna win everything. Yeah,
I think they're that confident at the moment. They do think they're going to win everything. The Arsenal fans at the moment, probably a bit like me because I think they're going to win everything. But yeah, you know that Leicester weakened team. Tielemans, is he going there? Is he not? Maddison, is he leaving? Is he not? We don't know. But if they win it, so be it. We're going to win tomorrow. So let us now continue on with our path to success. Big up, boys. Come on, you Spurs. John Fitzpatrick. Thank you, John. Okay. As you've alluded to it, Sean, not a great record. Sid, not a great record at Stamford Bridge. Not a great record against Chelsea, full stop. But this is the form guide for the last 5 games in terms of the league. And it goes back, obviously, to last season. So we're on a pretty decent run. And if we look just a little carefully at Chelsea's home form, not necessarily the greatest home form in the last few games. Didn't play that great against Everton away. Got that win against Watford home game, last game of the season. Doesn't really matter. But, before that, 2-2 draw against Leicester. 1 more draw against Leicester and a 2-2 draw against Wolves, both at home. Do we read anything into the form going into this game, Sid?
No, because last season, if you remember, we was on top form, and Chelsea were on a little bit of a wobble, and you know what happened? Not once, not twice, but 3 times a lady. So or 4 times. But I don't. You know what? This going into the season, it's only the second game of the season, and last season's form, this season's form. Don't forget, they've had a break. They've had pre-season. People have had injuries. Blah blah blah. So you've had a bit of a break. So it's not. It's like stop, start. They didn't start off too well last week. We've done quite well. So I don't think form means anything, to be fair. I think it's whoever's got it on the day. And we never have it on the day. But tomorrow is going to be completely different.
I'd like to. I think Chelsea are undercooked. If I'm honest with you, and that phrase has been going around. I don't think they had the best of pre-season. They did a lot of travel into the States. Whether or not they integrated that well, some of the players obviously didn't really travel and do that. So Sterling, the likes of Koulibaly as well. So are they fully integrated? Are they fully up to speed? I'm not sure. Their aging defense, I would say. However, got some quality players in there. I'm not going to take that away. Aspilicueta, Thiago, and obviously Koulibaly, new ones. But total of age of over 100. Against Son, Kane, Kulusevski, that's going to be a problem. Even bringing in Richarlison to that, I would say that we've got a front 3-4 definitely better than their front 3 or 4. And against that defense, I think we're going to have a lot of success. Sean, the last 4 fight, well, we're unbeaten. We've won 4, drawn 1, I think it is. I'll put it back up so we can see. Oops, wrong. There we go. We've won the last 4 games, and that game that we drew before that was against Liverpool. Our form going into this is obviously quite good. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, like Sid has said, Chelsea fell almost fell at the final hurdle into 3rd place. I mean, they in the end they were grateful for the points that they picked up early in the season, because their form fell off a cliff once the ownership issue became such a big issue. So I think we shouldn't read too much into form. I do, however, like you, think that there are factors in our favour for tomorrow. There are levelling factors as well. We haven't done well in the midfield against Chelsea for quite a while now, and we it's one area of the field that we've got to dominate. On the plus factor, we just heard that Kovacic is not available. He's not playing, so that's a good thing for us. And so, you know, there are leveling factors. One of the biggest factors, and a lot of people have been alluding to it, is the temperature at kickoff tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely roasted.
30, it's about 33, is it? Something like
you
that.
know, and that's you know, that is a factor. I think the game we played at quite a slow pace because of that. But you know, I think that again that suits us. I think because you know we've got the pace up front to deal with. They're still gelling defence, I'd say. I mean, I watched Everton get behind them last week, you know, and Everton haven't got anything up front. So
sure, just on that pace thing, I think actually that a faster pace would probably suit us because Tuchel kind of alluded to in his press conference. I watched both press conferences. He seems to think that Tottenham, and I agree with him, are one of the best counter-attacking teams in Europe, if not the world. So again, that sort of high energy, because we did all that work over in South Korea, I would hope that this works in our favour. That was monumental what they had to do over there in terms of that pre-season. So do you not think that this might play into our hands slightly?
Possibly. As you say, Chelsea's American tour was a bit of a mess because they didn't play in one city; they played in several cities. And you know, traveling in America, you're going over 3 time zones. That's you know, that doesn't help you. So I think you know that I would have much preferred what we had, where we just went to one place, stayed there, and then came back again, rather than you know them going across a continent basically, which requires a lot of travel. Yeah, I mean, you can see the superior fitness. On 70 minutes last Saturday, Southampton were almost putting the white flag up.
They
were absolutely done in, you know, and it just goes to show that the fitness that the Marine has put into our team will be a telling factor. I'm just, you know, you're always a bit concerned about mentality. Now, I think we have got a new mentality. But it's Stamford Bridge. Now, let's not be beaten on the coach going in. Let's get on the field and get amongst them, you know.
Sid, this comment here from Jews Nuts. Welcome, Jews, by the way. Thank you for watching. Chelsea, even undercooked, raised their game when they play us, hoping for a win, but feel it is a slim chance. What's your thought? Because I've watched a few different interviews, a few different, you know, shows where people are talking. And yeah, I get it. Our record when we get to it is absolutely abysmal in the league against Chelsea. It is overall, but there is no better time to play Chelsea. Go back to last season. We played on the opening day Man City, who maybe didn't quite have everything together. We beat them twice, obviously, as well, but they weren't quite at the races. They still went on to win the league. Chelsea, I really don't think they're better than last season at this moment in time. I think we are. What do you think the mentality for this game for the players should be going into this game?
The mentality going into every game should be the same. You go there to win the game and to get the 3 points. Simple as. And I'm sure Conte tells them the same thing. Doesn't matter if it's Bournemouth or if it's Crystal Palace or Liverpool or Man City or Arsenal or whoever. You go in to win the game. Simple as. They don't want to lose that game. Conte doesn't want to lose the game. Problem we've got is what you just touched on. Chelsea, yeah, a little bit undercooked. They're, you know, a little bit form-wise, blah, blah, blah. We're on form. But when it comes to these big games, we just, for some reason, mentally, it gets blocked. And we just end up playing like, you know, we just try. I don't know. We just bottle it, don't we? As always. If you see like Brentford when they went to Chelsea, or was it Chelsea to beat them 4-0?
4-1, yeah.
4-1. Yeah, that's it. That's the kind of mentality that we should. I know we've got a great mentality, but this is what we should be going there. No fear. It's only Chelsea. Just go and play our game. Let them catch up with us. Let them chase us. Let them try and beat us at our own game. We just play our own game. So all these games, it doesn't matter to me. I think it's just on the day who turns up and whether we put in a performance, because we've done this time and time again every season where we're so confident that, oh yeah, no problem. But then we just don't turn up. And tomorrow, I think we've already touched on it. The weather, right? The fitness levels. I know we're much fitter, but in this heat, even our fitness levels are going to be struggling because that heat is just going to kill them. And they're not going to be able to do that for the full 90 minutes. No matter how fit you are, that weather is just going to kill you. And I can see a lot of drink breaks tomorrow, which is going to break play.
I think so. And I think Chelsea are going to probably not play. I'm not saying they're not going to play to win. That's probably wrong, because obviously they will. But I think they're going to play a cagey game. I think they're going to probably play more of a counter-attacking game. Because, again, I don't think they're going to want to really go for it because of, like you said, they know that we are quite a good counter-attacking team. So, again, that transition, it's going to be a bit of a back and forth. And I don't think anybody really wants to get into that when it's like 33 degrees. So I can see it being a bit of a cagey game. Again, always the same case for me. Get that first goal, changes the whole complexion. We've seen teams like, was it Brentford last season that went to Chelsea? Chelsea didn't have a great season in terms of their home form, but Brentford went down. Didn't they win 4-0? Was it 4-0?
4-1.
4-1.
4-1. Sorry, apologies. You just mentioned that before 4-1. And so I'm looking at that with a better team that Chelsea had. We're considerably better than Brentford. Come on, let's not have it twisted here. We're considerably better than Brentford. I think we're definitely probably the fittest team of the teams that are so far in the season because of the preseason that we've had. And that's renowned for Conte. You put all those pieces together, for me, it just spells it's a mentality thing. The only reason why we would lose tomorrow is a bit of luck, bad luck, if that's the case, or we have a mentality issue. And Conte, if he has that tomorrow, he's not going to be happy with neither will I be. So I think we need to look at this as a great opportunity to put 2018 on top of this one. We'll see. Let's have a look at the season comparison, a new stat I've put in here. So obviously it's only one game gone. But this will hopefully, as we go through the season, be able to see the comparison between the two teams or the teams that we play. Are we in 4-1 against their slim victory against Everton, which was a slim victory, Kovacic penalty. Let's look at this now. Sid. I don't know what to say. There's a worse one than this one. I'll show you the one after this. But as you can see, last 5 results against Chelsea, and 4 of them being last season. Well, no, this is only league. Sorry, apologies. But we lost 4 times in the last season. But these are the last 5 league results. Not very good, right?
It's like what Delia Smith says, isn't it? Where are you? Where's the wins? Where are you? There's nothing there, is there? That does not look good at all. 1 draw and 1, 2, 4 losses. So, and how many we scored in 1 game out of the 5. That's shocking.
It's terrible.
That's terrible. 1 goal in 5 games. Shocking.
And don't forget they had Frank Lampard in charge of them for a couple of them games as well. So I just like, oh my God.
That's just shocking, mate.
I mean, I remember that Frank Lampard 2-0 win at our place, and I was so disappointed. So, I mean, we were done by a corner for a William. You know, it's like, what? Oh, man, it's just, you know, the thing is, though, this Chelsea thing even predates their 2004. You know, I mean, I remember Tori Andre Flo scoring in the 6-1 win at our place.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, I can't remember knocking into the wingers against us. They were always beating us, and that was one of them things. It was Chelsea were like that team, but then the Roman Abramovich era, and they simply just didn't lose to us. They simply didn't. Apart from that, obviously Dele Alli winner back in 2018, was it? Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, they are definitely a team that have it over us. As did Arsenal in the 90s, you know what I mean? It was like, oh God, yeah. So, you know, so you can understand why Spurs fans are a little bit, you know, nervous come Sunday. I'm actually quite buoyant about this game because I think.
Have a look at them stats. This is the stats I wanted you to look at before you go on. That's what I wanted you to have a look at, because played 60 in the league and we've won a total of 7 games. And we've won a total of 1 game at the Bridge. In
the Premier League era.
In the Premier League era, which is the only era which a lot of people know about. They forget about League Division 1. I don't.
Do you know that really? I mean, that whole football never existed before Sky in the Premier League. It rips my bloody knee, and I tell you. I mean, you know, oh God. Anyway. There's no doubt about it. Those do not make good reading. But, you know, I think Conte will not countenance losing tomorrow. He will not have it. And the quote that stands out for me from last season is, if you can't win, you don't lose.
show.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
people.
that's the way it's got to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know?
Sid.
That red is just in my head in. Just move on with that slide, man. I don't want to
Just
look
get it
at
off. Yeah, get it off.
I think you are all right. Anyway, let's do this last bit. There, ones to watch. I think this is good for us. Raheem Sterling. I put Raheem Sterling in there because obviously he's a player that needs to prove himself. Not necessarily prove himself as a player, but definitely prove himself to the Chelsea fans. Everywhere I think Raheem Sterling's been, he's never really had a connection. Very surprised he went to Chelsea after what happened to him, and he made that, big thing about the press and reporting after the incident that happened at Chelsea, the racist incident. But money talks, and obviously the money that he's getting there has talked. Dejan Kulusevski is the main man after last week, and I expect him to have another Sterling performance. The reason I think is because they realise there's pressure for their places. Richarlison is definitely putting them under pressure. Maybe not so much Lucas, but definitely Richarlison is. Anybody else, Sid, in terms of anybody else to watch out for tomorrow's game? Or tomorrow's game.
I think Bentancur's going to be a bit of a difference as well tomorrow's game if he starts, which I think he will, because he done quite well last week as well. And him and Højbjerg in that middle could be the season where we outdo Chelsea, to be fair, because like you said, they're not been doing that well. And for me, Tuchel's going to have a plan anyway. He's going to have certain players man marked. But the problem is, you man mark Kane, then you got to look after Son. If you then man mark Kane, Son, then you got Kulusevski. If you do them three, then you're gonna have to have a look at Bentancur in the middle as well, and Højbjerg, and you know what I mean. So they've got a lot of problems that they need to deal with tomorrow, because we've got, like I said, the front three can cause havoc on any day to any club in the world. And then you've got obviously players like Richarlison, Perisic, and people like that to come on. So it's going to be a very interesting. I'm not bothered about their forward line against our defense. I think they need to be aware of our forward line against their defense, and I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost. Their defense against our forwards.
Yeah, one of the other things I think as well. Sorry, Sean. I was just going to say, one of the other things is if they do plan to do all this stopping of us, that kind of takes away from their own game plan. Chelsea are at home. Now, they're probably very similar to what Alex Ferguson probably did to the players when they used to play against us, Man United. It's only Tottenham, guys. That might be Tuchel's approach. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what form it is. Look at our record against Spurs, and that's what probably could be used to motivate some of these players. But as I said, I just think it's a different mentality that Conte is going to put into these players. So I'm hoping that, Chelsea do have their own game plan to try and, nullify some of our threats. That will hopefully help us, because I don't think the Chelsea fans are going to accept anything other than at least a draw. I don't think they want to have anything other than a win, but I think they'll accept a draw. Sorry, Sean, what was you going to say?
I was going to say there's 2 points. Kulusevski, we're all expecting big things based on last week, but he's up against the one player that really shackled him last season in Cucurella. So,
will he start though, Sean?
Cucurella will start. Cucurella will start. He came on and made a massive difference to them last week. He will definitely start. So, this is the time for Son and Kane to step up if Kulu is being shackled. But there is one place where I think we can win it, and it's in the green bits behind Reece James and in that gap between it, James and Azpilicueta. I can never say his name. Azpilicueta. Yeah. That's the place. That's the place for Son. That's the place for Ryan Sessegnon. I think that's the place where we can win the game tomorrow. I think Tuchel is going to play a high line. He's going to want to press us back. He always thinks he's already talked up that we're a counter-attacking team, and the way to do that is to stop us passing out of the defense. So they will press us, but we're going to have to use those green spaces. Use those green spaces, and I think that is a weakness. I don't, James and
Azpilicueta.
is a place where Son could have a field day tomorrow.
I think we've worked really well on trying to get around the press. If you watch some of the passing, particularly in that Southampton game, because Southampton pressed us quite well in that first 10, 15 minutes. They got the goal in the 20, whatever minute it was, but then we kind of passed around them. And we had so many opportunities to score by good intricate play. If we can do that again tomorrow, as I said, I don't see Chelsea, A, because of the weather, and B, because of the personnel that they've got. I don't see them chasing all over the place, really pressing that much. I think they're going to be organised in their press, as you said, probably play quite high up, but organised. But if we can beat that, like any team, Manchester City, the best at it, if you can beat that press, your way. And I think that's what we're going to hopefully do. Favourite part of the show. Anyway, Sid, now you're on here. Now you tried to cheat on the last one. You can go first then, huh? You know what I mean? I'm going to look back at this. What's it?
Have a look. It's all right. We went on stream. When did you do your preview show last week? What day?
Was it Friday? No, Thursday. It must have been Thursday.
Thursday, right. Let's watch Sid Says for last Friday's show, right? And I swear, I'm going to put it, I'm going to clip you up. And
he's going to clip it up, yeah.
I'm going to, don't worry. Don't you worry, Sam. Sid's got a plan for you.
Don't you worry, child.
Sid's got a plan for you.
Shit.
Right.
Shit.
I think, do you know what the problem is? As much as we're doing really well at defense, I still think we've got that little bit of a lapse sometimes where Southampton last week, we concede. We started off the game well, and we've always got that tendency to sort of concede. So I think they'll score. But I think we've got to break this hoodoo, this voodoo, black magic, whatever you want to call it. We've got to break it at some point. And tomorrow is going to be, we're not going to get a better chance than tomorrow, especially on Conte. The team's on fire. Everything's going right. Squad's looking cool. So I think we're going to win 2-1.
Goal scorers?
So for us, I think, and yeah, I think Kulu and Kane. KK. Kulu and Kane.
Nah, don't worry about the Chelsea ones. You don't get
No, I'm not bothered. But I got a funny feeling. I got a funny feeling Sterling's going to score.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? That kind of something in my head tells me that as well. Sean, you're the champion of this game at the moment, so I'm waiting.
Yeah,
for you.
I mean,
that's what I'm getting last.
We usually put big caveats. I think we're going to win, and I think we're going to win by 2 goals. Now I can't go. Is it 2-0 or is it 3-1? I think I'll take Sid's thing that we will concede a goal, but I think we'll be 2 goals ahead by that point. Yeah, we're going to win 3-1, and I expect Son to score a couple, and maybe Kane. Yeah, maybe Kane.
Okay.
3-1, yeah.
3-1. Not to
with my chest,
but I'm going to go with the win as well. And I do think we're going to really dominate the game. I think we're going to have opportunities to really put the game to bed. Whether or not we take them, I'm hoping we do. I go back to last week. We won 4-1. Both Kane and Son were on the score sheet. I know Kane. I know Son. They love to play. Well, they love to play. They want to be scoring against these teams, these big teams. They want to play well. So I'm going to 3-1 as well. Sam goes 3-1. That's not because of you, Sean. That's because I'm just thinking that 3-1. They might score a goal. And I'm going Kane double.
Ooh.
I'm going Kulu. Kane double with Kulusevski. I think Son's going to probably be influential in the game in terms of that left side.
No fallback goals then.
No, not this time. I think we've had our
Emerson Royale hat trick.
No, we've got our quote with that. Bloody hell! If we get any more of this season, I'll be surprised. Anyway, no, that's a lie. We'll get.
We should be saying to Emerson, where the hell's your compilation clip from last week?
100%.
Yeah, it's probably working.
When you actually had something to clip up as well.
100%. But
overhead kicks. Good God.
Overhead kicks. You know, that's madness. So who else? What have we said here? So Juice Nuts is getting 1-1. Anybody else? Feel free to put your score in the comments. Even after this stream's finished, and let us know what your thoughts are. I think the percentage of people to say that we're going to win this game is around about 75% on the poll that I put out. So
but
this,
I was going to say, for you, yeah, every week on a preview show, I should not be hearing any losses because you have said we're going to win the league. Yeah, so we're not going to lose games. So your predictions every week should be wins.
Not necessarily. I mean, City lost games.
I know.
There was a team from North London that beat them twice, you know.
I know.
Now
JC, absolutely.
Pummel Chelsea. JC, you're my kind of guy. Or girl. Good beats entertainment. Oh,
Oh, hold on.
No, it's because Chelsea are the home team. That good beat.
Is it though? Because look at his next one.
Nah, he's saying Spurs to win too.
He's saying Spurs to win. I'm not having none of that good beats. You're saying Spurs to win. Put it in the correct scoreline order as well. 1-2. So Sid's gone 2-1. Kulu and Kane. Sean's gone 3-1. Son double and Kane. And Sam's gone 3-1 with Kane double and Kulu on the score sheet. Gentlemen, that wraps up the show. You know what that means? It's a sleep. It's like Christmas. Only one sleep to go, and then it's on. So make sure you like the stream, subscribe, join us after the game tomorrow, 6:35 for the reaction show. It will be a celebration. Don't you worry about it. There's nothing but celebration. No Men in Black tomorrow. We've done that. We've done all that. Now it's about the badge, isn't it? Hey? Come on, guys. God, join with me. Oh, Deji, the Arsenal Slayer will be on tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to be doing all this. We might have to get a name. Somebody call him the Chelsea Slayer, because that is what I think is going to happen. Good BC saying, yeah, we're winning. Kane double. Two snaps. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Gentlemen, that is it. Right. Okay. Think that is it. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sid. Look forward to it tomorrow. Join us tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. And
one last thing. Don't go. FPL, get your teams in. Come on, guys. Come on. Get your teams in. Come on. Let's do it.
I haven't got the link. I should have put it up. Sorry about that.
That's
unorganized. Right. But yeah, Sid, we'll do that for next.
Have we got a table in the FPL? Who's doing well?
It's only one game in. I'm not going to do what the Premier League do and stop putting tables in after one game.
Let's
give it a couple of games.
Traditions are out the window. They've stopped reading out the results at 5 o'clock. That's a scandal, by the way.
I'm completely breaking the tradition, Sean. I'm only going to put the tables up when I'm winning.
And
so they're never going up then.
And I'm going to do the same thing with our internal score prediction table as well. I'm only going to put it up when I'm winning. And at the moment, it's huge, Sean, so it's not getting up yet. That is it. See you later, guys.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.